All right, this week we are doing the composite photography or composite image, which is where you are going to take a number of images, lay them over on top of each other, and create a new reality. So that's why it also says like alternate reality picture. This is actually one of my favorite things to do with photography is to take a picture and then add other elements to that picture to create a composite image or an alternate reality. And I've done that with superheroes and other staff that work in the building where I take the superhero body, I take a picture of one of my colleagues, one of the other staff members, I get the lighting the same as the original picture, and then I put their face onto the superhero. And here are some of those there. Now, with this, it does take a little bit of Photoshop skill, but it doesn't necessarily have to be Photoshop because there are lots of different apps out there that now kind of do the same thing where you have layers and you can alter each layer. Another big one, if you're an iPad person, is Procreate. Procreate is a good app similar to Photoshop, not as good as Photoshop, but it does a lot of the same elements as Photoshop. That can do all kinds of things in terms of changing the tint of an image, right? Making an image more green or more blue. Because to make a good composite picture, that's what it comes down to, is matching all the same color tones of the images that you're putting into the same picture, right? So you know how you could have like, say like a warm image, right? A lot of yellow in it. Right now, I would say this one is pretty blue, right? Not a lot of yellow, like this back wall has a blue tone to it. So does my sky is blue tone. It doesn't have a yellow tone to it. Where if I was to add something, say I want to put like some kind of a, I'm gonna put a dragon flying around, a little baby dragon flying around behind me. I would want to make sure I'm altering the tint to be slightly blue. And then it would match the lighting of this room. So then the two would look like they're in the same room. If I had, say, a little baby dragon flying in the background, but it had a very yellow tone to it, it would look like I added it or photoshopped it into the picture because the color tones wouldn't match in the same environment. So when doing this week's project, that is really the main thing that you want to make sure of is matching color tones and matching lighting sources. Right, here's my light source lighting up this side of my face because here's the back window. If I was to add my baby dragon, I would have to make sure the light source on the dragon was coming from this side. And then once again, it would look like they are in the same image. Now, say you found and I'll talk about a PNG file in a minute, say you found that little baby dragon, but the lighting was coming from the opposite side, you could just flip the image. Right? Just reverse it. You would never know, and then all of a sudden, the light is coming from the opposite side. So one project that I always like to do with students, and I'll put this PNG file right on our course homepage, is adding a T-Rex to my classroom. So I have a picture of my classroom, and then I find a PNG file. So most people know what a JPEG is. JPEG would be if I screenshotted this image right here. A JPEG is an image of the screen, right? That's just a picture. If you look for a PNG file, so if I typed in PNG file T-Rex or baby dragon, it would simply be a cutout of the dragon. It wouldn't be a picture of the dragon with a black background or a picture of the dragon with a white background. It would simply be the cutout. And then you can just drop it in. So if you're a person who does not have access to Photoshop or even Procreate, but you're like, I can't cut an image out, right? Similar to our very first activity where you had to cut out the face and put all those activities that you like, that's what cutting out an image is. You're selecting it. I'm gonna say if you have the newest iPad, if you just put your finger on it, it actually cuts it out and you can just move it over. It instantly turns something into a PNG file, right? That's where technology is kind of pushing. It's making it so much easier that say you found an image of this image on the internet, if you were to hold your finger on me, it would cut me out automatically and you could place it on something. So making PNG files is getting easier and easier to do. But just type in PNG file T-Rex, but I will add that to our course homepage if you want to add a T-Rex to something. And I'll show you, so I make this image right here where I take a picture of my classroom, add a T-Rex to it, make it look like I'm getting attacked by the T-Rex, and usually I'll change the lighting source to match the lighting in the room, right? The T-Rex, or the lighting hitting the T-Rex's head, it's super close to that light source, so I make that area a little brighter to make the lighting match. This is one of my funnest things to do with photography and with Photoshop is to make composite images or alternate reality images. So I hope you had fun with it this week. Take your time with it. Because this is a short week and this is a more complicated activity. We're gonna stretch this one for this week and next week so that you have a little bit of time, and it may take you a little while to even find a computer that possibly has Photoshop. Or you could talk to the photography teacher in your school, see if they could help you out a little bit in person with this activity. But let's say you have no access to a computer that's going to allow you to do this. I just want you to research different composite photography individuals that focus on this as their main profession, making composite images, and there's lots. You'll even see them in our content for the week. I want you to do a research paper on those people. What got them into making composite pictures, include some of their images for what their main focus is. Some focus on families. They'll take different family images of everybody and then add them to an environment, whether it's a pool party or a family get together, but everyone's doing different things and they've all been like added individually to the image, right? It's just a very fun thing, and if you can get this little skill down, you can have lots of fun with photography in Photoshop. Now, this is not something you master on your first try. This takes a lot of practice to kind of figure out how to manipulate that tint, right? Making sure if it's a little bit greeny, is a little bit yellow, just so it doesn't look like something's been Photoshopped, right? Everyone knows a bad Photoshop image where you're like, whoa, this has been Photoshopped. You want to try to make it so that you can add things to an image and make it seem like it's actually part of the environment. A lot of that comes down to just matching the lighting, whether it's the color tone or the source of the light. And if you can master those two things, color tone and source, your Photoshop layering skills are going to go infinitely up because those are two big parts. All right, so have fun with it this week. I will add a picture of the T-Rex so that if you want one where the T-Rex is already PNG filed and you just have to add it to an environment, I will put that on our course homepage so you have access to that as well. All right, so this activity will be due not this Friday, but the following Friday, because this one's a little more complicated. Might take a few more steps and a few more tries, actually, right? You might do it the first time and be like, I really don't like it. It looks kind of Photoshopped. You might try to add another one, okay? Have fun with it. We are coming down to the last few weeks, so please make sure you get all those activities handed in. And I hope you've been having fun with photography. Later, guys.